Hello guys, how are you doing today? Are you good? So before we start our class, don't forget to subscribe in the video and activate the notifications to keep improving your English, alright? This class we're going to talk about February 2nd, okay? And we're going to talk about Alexander Selkirk, who is the seventh son of cobbler, was born in 1676. Selkirk fled to sea hoping to make fortune through privateering against Spanish vessels off the coast of South America. On the Cirque ports, he thought the ship would sink, and in order to save his own life, he left the boat to be on the inhabited island of Mazatierra, which is today called Robinson Crusoe Island. Alright? Let's take a look at the verbs. We have in here to grow, to find, to result, to hear, to flee, to make, to lead, to be, to fear, and to demand. Alright? Now we are going to go to the home practice. Home practice are on pages 300 to 304. Okay? So what do you have to do? You have to put the sentences in the simple past. Afterwards, you're going to change them to the affirmative, negative, or interrogative form. Okay? So, number one, we have, this was a story about a man named Robinson Crusoe. So, this was not a story about a man named Robinson Crusoe. And the interrogative, was this a story about a man named Robinson Crusoe? Number two, he wished to be a sea explorer. So, we have, he didn't wish to be a sea explorer. Did he wish to be a sea explorer? Number three, his father didn't think it was a good idea. So, the affirmative, his father thought it was a good idea. Interrogative, did his father think it was a good idea? Number four, he was captured as a slave. So, he wasn't captured as a slave. Was he captured as a slave? Number five, he escaped on a merchant ship heading toward Brazil. He didn't escape on a merchant ship heading toward Brazil. Did he escape on a merchant ship heading toward Brazil? Number six, Crusoe was approached to join a voyage to Guinea and he agreed. So we have, Crusoe wasn't approached to join a voyage to Guinea and he didn't agree. Did Crusoe was approached to join a voyage to Guinea and did he agree? Number seven, the ship encounters a storm. The ship encountered a storm and he was lost at sea. So the ship didn't encounter a storm and he was not lost at sea. And did the ship encounter a storm and was he lost at the sea? Number 8. Crusoe woke up on a desert island and as the only survivor of the storm. Crusoe didn't wake up on a desert island as the only survivor of the storm. Did Crusoe wake up on a desert island as the only survivor of the storm? Number 9. After a week on the island, Crusoe began building a shelter. After a week on the island, Crusoe didn't begin building a shelter. After a week on the island, did Crusoe begin building a shelter? Number 10. Crusoe began documenting his life in a journal. Crusoe didn't begin documenting his life in a journal. Did Crusoe begin documenting his life in a journal? 11. Years went by on the island and Crusoe established farms for crops. Years didn't go by on the island and Crusoe didn't establish farms for crops. Did the years go by on the island and did Crusoe establish farms for the crops? 12. Then one day Crusoe found a mysterious footprint of a human on the beach and became frightened. Then one day Crusoe didn't find a mysterious footprint of a human on the beach and didn't become frightened. Then one day did Crusoe find a mysterious footprint of a human on the beach And did he become frightened? 13. For 2 years he lived in fear. For 2 years he didn't live in fear. Did he live in fear for 2 years? 14. Crusoe saw a British ship near the island and the crew of the ship came ashore. Crusoe didn't see a ship near the island and the crew of the ship didn't come ashore. Did Crusoe see a ship near the island and did the crew of the ship come ashore? 15. When Crusoe returned to England, he found that all of his inheritance and wealth was gone. So we have, when Crusoe didn't return to England, he didn't find that all his inheritance and wealth wasn't gone. Interrogative, when did Crusoe return to England? Did he find that all his inheritance and wealth was gone? Senior Master, you have to tell us the activities you did last week, last weekend, or on your last vacation. You have to use accessories and language chunks. So we have, last weekend I had a busy one because my daughter was with me and we had to visit my father because she missed him. I drove there so they could have some fun together. Alright? And now guys, we're going to go to the review. This review, we're going to talk about the simple past, which talks about actions concluded in a specific moment in the past. Simple past is divided into 3 parts, okay? So we have verb to be that we're going to use was or were, in which was we use for I, he, she, it, and were for you, we, they. We have the irregular verbs that we are going to pay attention about them in the affirmative form because negative and interrogative form use the verb in the base form, okay? And the regular verbs, which we have rules, okay? And those rules are applied only in affirmative form because in negative and interrogative, we're going to use the verb in the base form, okay? So let's start. The common rule of simple past, we're going to use verb plus ed, all right? After that, we have the second rule, which we use when we have verbs ending in e. So we are going to put d, all right? Verbs ending in consonant plus y, we're going to drop y and put ied. Verbs ending in consonant vowel consonant stressed, we're going to double the last consonant and put ed. And finally, verbs ending in ic or oc, we're going to put ked. All right? Let's take a look at the examples. We have it here. My grandmother grew up in a small site and took care of her 15 siblings when she was a kid. Negative. My father didn't fear to come to Brasilia in 1972. And the interrogative, did Louise find her father last weekend? Okay? So guys, that's it for today. It was a pleasure to be with you. Don't forget to come to our classes and see you next time. Bye-bye.